City 2, Brentford 2, Brentford 2, City 2 even at the Gtech Community Stadium. Very frustrating end to that game of football. And a very weird one to sit here and try and analyse. Look, I'm not going to be too upset, if I'm being honest. I actually weirdly enjoyed that game of football. My instinct reaction is probably not going to be the same as some of you guys. I've tried to remove the emotion from it. If I try to sit back and look at the overall picture of that game and where we are, as opposed to what that points mean, painful, absolutely painful. Of course it's painful, but I think some of you also need to remember where we are and what we're trying to do right now. The issues are still the same issues, but I actually think that City was still better than they have been recently. Look, I'm not going to sit here and tell you defended well at the end. We didn't. But I don't think we've learned anything new at the same time either. I feel like City are still waiting for that sort of rebuild to kick in fully. We are obviously going to try and sign a midfielder. I feel like a few players still don't have the ability. Gundo coming on obviously did not help whatsoever. I understood the logic behind it, by the way. Kovacic was absolutely spent, and he thought maybe Gundogan would close it down a little bit. But anyone sort of throwing the toys out the pram needs to get a little bit of perspective, is what I would say. Be frustrated, absolutely, but we need to remember just sort of how good Brentford aren't the fourth best home record. They're the second best home record. Brentford have the second best home record in the league. I'll show you right now. There you go. There's Brentford's home record. They're second best in the league. Only Liverpool can match Brentford. Of course, played an extra game, but Brentford have the second best home record in the league because they are a phenomenal side at home. Really good and really strong and really well organised. So you need to remember that when you look at the context of the game. And I think we also need to remember where we've come from when we look at the context of the game. A month ago, we get beat 4-0 here. I guarantee you. Away at Brentford a month ago, this is a 4-0 battering. I'm not saying we played well, but I do think City today looked a little bit more confident than they did recently. If we'd taken our chances, maybe we might have had a chance to win today. But I don't honestly feel 2-2 away at Brentford is a horrific result. Frustrating how it happened. It's very frustrating how it happened. I think the manner of the as I nearly said defeat, the manner of the dropping points is what hurts more, in my opinion, than how we dropped the points, than the fact that we dropped the points even. Look, I'm going to try and look at it as where we are, not what I want us to be, if that makes sense. I know Manchester City right now are in the middle of a rebuild. We all know that. We all absolutely know City are not the same Manchester City side that they used to be. And look, as soon as we conceded, when Wissa scored, it was very obvious to me anyway, at least, that, they were going to go on. Sorry, there we go. They were going to go on and score the equaliser. It's painful. It's absolutely painful. But it doesn't surprise me because the same frailties are still there. Like, I know we've won a few games, but does anyone really think we fixed anything? No, not at all. And as I did say previously, the only thing I took from the West Ham, the Leicester game, was that some of those players would be more confident. Same with the Salford game. And I still think that's true for what it's worth. I still think you can see that some of those players look a little bit more confident, and I still think Manchester City played better than I expected than say a month ago. I'm not saying we played well, but Brentford are one of the best sides in the league at home. They are really good. They are strong. They're organised. They're physical. It's one of those things where I am not going to lose sleep over this because I think we all know where City are. We need reinforcements. We need some players to move on. We need to sort of carry on the rebuild. But you can't do that in a week. It's going to happen. It's going to happen, but it's going to take time. And we're going to need to be very patient, unfortunately. Patience is hard because patience requires composure, and it requires time, and time takes time, and it's not nice. Brian said with the super chat, thank you so much for the super chat. Brian said, same story all season. We can see chance after chance after chance. We do. I mean, we always do against Brentford, what it's worth. Brentford have always scored goals against us. They have. So this is not new. This isn't a very un-Manchester City thing. Brentford always give us trouble. They give everyone trouble at the Gtech Stadium. So yeah, Brian, you bang on, mate. But yeah, it's not a surprise, really. Piff says, we move. Yeah, I agree. I think we're fine. I think we'll be all right. Amar says, two people to blame. Gundogan and Pep, awful from both. Everyone's right that Gundogan, it coincides with it. Gundogan didn't actually do much. He didn't really do much wrong, but he didn't do anything at the same time. Gundogan was sort of there. It didn't work, but I think the logic behind the Gundogan move was that if he comes on, it was so chaotic that we try and slow it down a little bit. Ultimately, I think the main issue is really the defence. I think the players are tired. The midfield's not there. And I think Akanji, unfortunately, miles away from Wissa for the first goal. For some reason, the ball fell to bloody Bernardo Silva. It's a good goal, I would argue. And the second one, Akanji has to be stronger in the challenge. Really good header from Norgard. You could argue as well that Sevilla maybe should do more to close down. But when you've got your 20-year-old Brazilian left winger slight trying to stop a cross coming in the 92nd minute, it's never going to happen. So that's where I'm at with that. Look, I know everyone wants to blame Gundo, and I agree that he feels like we concede, and I think Gundo is an issue, absolutely. But it's not like he was the cause of, it's not like the midfielders run through. There's a rush to blame people, and I understand this urge to want to blame someone. I think the issues aren't individuals here. I think the issues are still the issues that we know. We can't keep hold of the ball and kill the game and slow it down because we don't have the composure as a team, which is ultimately a quality issue. That, to me, is where our issues are right now. Usually, we get caught running back towards our own goal. No, I don't think Akanji's collective the one to blame, but I think he's more to blame than Gundogan. Look, you know what? You're right, Heenan, there. I sound like a hypocrite there, so I'll rephrase everything I've just said. I think Akanji was more at fault than Gundogan, but I think largely it's a collective failing, by the way. I think collectively, it's just the same issues that we know. Brentford were always likely to score, as Jordan pointed out before. That's a very good point. Well made. They were going to score at some point. I don't think Gundogan changed that. I know we all want a scapegoat here, but I think the scapegoat really is the fact that we are where we are. You know, the lack of rebuild, the lack of reinforcements, and a little bit too slow to get where we need to be. We just need to be calm and patient. And look, I don't know why Kovacic came off. I think Guardiola wanted to try something. Kovacic, I thought, was a little bit rash, so I understood it logically. But the midfielder's no legs, and that's not new. Yeah, it's not new. We will get there. We will fix it. And I still maintain that this was a better performance than we've seen recently. It's one of those things where it's one of those things where everyone's getting annoyed at me, because we're 2-0 up. But when we lost it, but I know. But this is the same issues where we are. We know where the team's still got the same frailties. But I think we still need to remember that we haven't. Nothing's changed yet. It's very obvious we're heading in the right direction, in my opinion. I think it is. I think we played much better. You'd have to agree with me, but I think we're still looking better than we did a month ago. And I think we would have lost that a month ago. And I'm going to get called a happy clapper for it. But no, I would rather be totally honest with it, where I feel. I think we need to lower expectations until we get the players in. And I think we need to, I can't be concerned by something that isn't a surprise to me. It's not a surprise to me at all. That's where I feel about it. Individually, I'll go through the lineups once again. De Bruyne had a good game, created a whole bunch of chances, as he always does. Beautiful assist for Phil Foden. Phil was quiet in that first half. I sort of cursed him positively with a tweet questioning his form at half-time. And then he scored 2 wonderful goals. The first goal in particular was a wonderful finish. Second one was a nice little kind of rebound strike. Savino, frustrating in front of goal, but an absolute live wire who caused so many problems in Brentford. Yeah, he was insatiable. Once again, Jordan, I agree with your word in there. He absolutely gave... He was on the right for Rorslev an absolute roasting, but couldn't get the contribution that he probably deserved. Bernardo's not really setting the world alight, but he was just sort of there. Likewise, Kovacic. I thought the actual, Ake, I thought was phenomenal. This is where stats don't do a player justice, by the way. 7.2 there, but Ake was a 9 out of 10 for me. It's one of those things where I thought he was brilliant. I thought Nunes was pretty good as well. Infuriating in the first half. A couple of silly little pushes here and there, but I thought Nunes actually did all right, given it's a very tricky game to go to. So I'm going to give Nunes, even though I'm not a fan broadly of Nunes, I'm going to give him the credit that he deserves for a decent performance. Akanji, I thought, was slack. Not terrible, but just on the scene of the crime for both goals, I would argue, or not on the scene of the crime for the first one. We probably should have been. He's just, I think there's a lot on Akanji right now, and I think he's struggling for form and confidence. Ortega, I don't really blame him for not keeping the ball out. It was hard for that second goal. Vardial, better than recently. One particularly really good. Get Pep out. Come on, man. Grow up. Let's be really realistic here. Anyone saying Pep out, by the way, I think he's being childish. I really mean that. I think you're being childish. Come on. We have to slow down, take a deep breath, remember where we are, admit the mistakes, but accept that it's going to take time to fix. But I still think we're playing better than we did a month ago, Confident of a top 4 spot? No, not confident at all. But I'm confident we'll get better. We might have messed up with the substitutions, Pep. We were still conceding chances anyway. I think the main issue is that we were going to concede a goal. They scored the goal. And after that, I don't think any combination of players on the pitch are going to stop that second goal. No combination of players is stopping that second goal. So as much as we moan about substitutions, that's a mentality issue. That's a confidence issue. And that is a quality issue as well. Gundogan is not the cause of that second goal. Pep is not the cause of that second goal. The team where they are right now is the cause of that second goal because we can't keep the ball. That's where we're at, you know. And I think we just, look, it is what it is. It's the same old problems. It's not new information. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you I'm devastated by that. It is what it is. You know, it's... I know everyone wants someone to blame. But I think the issue here is nothing new. It's just where we're at. And we're going to get better. And I think we are getting better. And it's going to be painful. But at the same time, like we had a lot of chances. They had a lot of chances. It was an old-fashioned shootout against one of the best sides in the country, literally at home. And we had a whole bunch of chances each. We had a whole bunch of chances. Look, 40 shots between the two of them there, man. Oh, 39. Keepers being big. I'll take it. 2-2 would have been fine at the start of the game for me. But the way it happened, painful. But we're not confident enough to keep them out right now. We're not mentally strong enough, so I'm not going to lose sleep over something that I already know. It's like living in the Northwest and going, oh, it's raining again. No, we know where City are right now. I'm not going to moan. We were never nearly in the title race, internet user. Let's be realistic about it, mate. We're miles off. What scores Forest, by the way? What scores that over there? Liverpool, 1-0. Okay. Guys, I'm not going to do a long video because I don't think there's much more to analyse other than it's the same old issues that we've got. I still think we're looking at it better. It's growing pains. Yeah, good shout, Noah. We'll be fine. Ipswich will come round. We might have a few new players by that point. We'll see how it is. Go and have a cup of tea. Go and have a brew. Go and play your favourite game. Listen to your favourite song. Do not lose sleep over that because it's not worth it. Brentford are a good side. And if we're hunting down the top 4, I still feel like we'll probably get there, if we're being honest. So what? 2 points off Chelsea, and we've got a lot to go. We'll be fine. I think we'll get it. I really do believe we'll get it. In a bit, bye-bye. Good night, guys. Don't worry. We'll be okay.